To check my what do you call it, angle and everything. Let me take a second. Where are we? Home. Sorry, I'm just my channel. There we go. Now there's my live thing. So I'm just going to check the calibration because I bumped the camera and I think I knocked it out of alignment. So I'll just check the calibration. Yep, at the moment it's tilted down that way a bit, which means I have knocked the camera a touch. I thought I did, so I'll just turn it that way a touch. There we go, and that should straighten it up a bit. As well, it's a bit to the right, so I'll move my camera this way. Sorry, bear with me. There we go. Might have to go the other way. Yep, have to go the other way. Sorry, this calibration takes a little bit better. Turn it this way a touch more. I want that to move into the middle of the screen. There we go. Nearly there. See the phone sitting there in the middle. There we go, touch more. Sorry, this calibration's pretty important to get the view just right. There we go. See how the phone's getting closer to the center? That'll do. I'm happy with that. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll put this on as well. And what I'm doing live, okay, this is how easy it works. There's my hat, live. There we go. I'm just going to sand this. That gives a view up there. Back in a sec. Righto. This is how we sand the lap and so forth, and a bit on the tip. See there? Put that fan on. Now, I'm just going to flip this over. Now I'm going to sand this edge of this lap. Now, bear with me for a sec. I'm just going to get my sand and pad. Right, put my hat back on. I've got my camera set up on my helmet. Here we go. Now turn this overhead light off. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put my hard pad on, my small hard pad. Let's get a few little 60 grits. Now it's cheaper to use a few of these every board and throw it away than it is soak the other ones in acetone, and it's just way better doing it this way. So just sand this lap. See here? Do a little bit on the nose. I should have enough left in this one. There we go. Right, so what I'm doing here, I don't want to touch the foam. Okay, now this looks really, really easy. It takes a bit of practice to be able to do this without gouging the foam. But I'm a great believer in practice makes perfect. Okay, just keep practicing, because this is 60 grit and that would chew up the foam in a second. There we go, so you feel that? No edge there. Any edge will make the glass lift up and make it really hard to keep the glass down. Now just fine tune these little bits on the end here. See that? Now what I've done as well, I've putting all these videos on YouTube, and as for learning, I think these videos are going to become quite good for a learning tool. So the view I have here, that view, it's going to be pretty hard to beat. Okay, because you're seeing exactly what I'm doing here. And doing it freehand. And I try to get people to, you know, as I say, I'm a great believer in practice makes perfect, and just keep going. Don't, like when you're doing this sort of thing, don't do the old jig to tape around with. That's the biggest thing you can do to never get good at something. Now I'm just checking by eye. That looks pretty good. The whole process of making boards, you're trying to get your eye in. Okay, so it's all about getting a good eye so you can see when something's not right. That looks pretty good, both those laps. Get rid of this. Yeah, you try and get your eye in so you can just have a better chance of doing more things with surfboards. And you'll find if you get a good eye, you'll be able to spray boards, you'll be able to do everything. There we go. There. You've got to be able to do that by eye. I can't stress that enough. And before you put the next bit of tape down, you just flatten all that out. And what I like to do with these tips is, if people listen to them, they're going to have a better crack at when they're making a board. It's really going to help them. And always copy someone that's doing something makes it look easy. If someone's making something look hard, steer clear of it. You don't want to copy it no matter what it is. Like I watch dip rockers and all sorts of things, any trade. When someone knows their trade, whether they're driving an excavator or whatever, when they know what they're doing, they make it look easy. And when people are making something look really hard, nah. Stay clear of that one. Definitely stay clear of it. There we go. Right, get me other tape. Righto, now I put a bit of tape in here. There's many different ways you can do this, okay? You don't have to do it this way. I've just a habit I've gotten into the way I've done it. I used to have little bits of foam I put in here, but just another thing you got to keep on site, where this bit of tape, tear it, 4 inches off, roll it up. It's easy. You know, you got to try and simplify it. You look at someone's workshop, like I do all the different boards that I do with just what you see around me. And I know some people overcomplicate it. Absolutely overcomplicate it. You want to keep it simple. What is it? Keep it simple, stupid. And turn that off down. That was just sucking the little bit of dust that was in the air from doing my sanding at the lap. Now, I start all the pig. I've got 3 pigs I've got to do together: Mike's, Chris's, and the Port Macquarie Surf Museum. I'm really happy with those because none of them are polished. They're not cut back. The Port Macquarie Surf Museum is just having the rail cut back. So I only have to sand them and finish coat them. So I'm going to be able to get a bit done in that short period of time. Now I'm just going to go over this one more time to make sure it's sticking down nicely. Because I only glassed this a few hours ago, sometimes the tape can peel off. It shouldn't, but it can. Righto. So I'll bring it out here. Now the Insta camera will pick up my voice. Hey everyone. Yeah, so now let's start glassing this. Now, got to put my new roll up soon. New roll of bowling. Got it sitting inside, not cheap. Straighten that up. Now I don't measure that, I just do it by eye. Okay, you don't need to measure that. It's roughly, what's that, 2 foot. And this one's just over. That's what I talk about with, if you get a decent eye, you can measure things up pretty good. So I go to there, cut from here. There we go, that's close enough. Same there, you look at over there, go to here, lift this up. Right, now I want to get rid of all those little particles or bits of bowl end, because if you don't get rid of these, what happens is they go darker with the tint. So you just get a bit of bit of tape, go like that, get rid of it, do it again. That's how you pick it up, and it's gone. People try and blow it, but if you're wearing a mask, it makes it a bit harder. There we go. It's good. Oh, I'm getting close yet. Have to replace the roll very shortly. I'll get through this board by the looks of it. That's fine. The rolls are really heavy, this 38 inch. We're talking fucking heavy. Just making sure my strands are pretty straight. Only because it won't move as much if you keep these straight. Righto, that looks good. That looks good. Now, cut this out. Beautiful, that's all nice. Just make sure that's sitting flat. I just want to get this deck laminated so I can filler coat it at the Savo, put the box in, and then all I've got to do is sand and finish coat it tomorrow. Okay, and then I sand and finish coat it, and then I polish it next day. Now I should have more than enough to do this side. There we go. Probably got one side left. Now always have plastic over your roll, so if you ever spill anything, it won't wreck your fiberglass. Pull the strand straight. There we go. Sometimes a bit of a wrinkle forms, but you get rid of that. There we go, done. Now, cut this out. I know pretty well it's got to be this length. I'll check it. See that? 1/2 inch overhang. You just know after a few thousand times, you just know. Okay? A lot of people do all sorts of measuring with their finger and all sorts of stuff. But remember at the start I talked about, look at this. See? About 1/2 inch, 3/4 overhang. Remember I talked about getting your eye in? That's what it enables you to do. Not just taping up, cutting as well. Because your eye knows exactly what it has to be, but the people that use templates, Never get that. Okay, I put that under there. Yeah, 20 mil overhang, perfect. And it's called getting your eye in. I'm not even going to bother checking this one, I know it's going to be right. But I'm looking through here from there to there. And as I say, once you do it a few thousand times, you know. And anyone that uses a template, you'll always be relying on that template if you don't rely on your eyes. See, it looks the same. Okay, you don't need to put your finger there or anything. I check it sometimes, but you gotta get that eye in. Now I cut my cloth like this, one here, then one there. There we go. Now ready to glass. Turn this back on. So I'm going to need heat in a little while. It's very cold outside. I'll get rid of that. I need new gloves. There they are here. Cheapest gloves you can get. I think $8 from Woolworths. There we go. The big scam happened when coronavirus hit. Gloves that you used to pay $8 for became $40. So unfortunately, see how that broke. This is the cheaper glove, but they're not worth $40 fucking. Okay, I'd rather break one every now and then, but I'm not paying $40 for a set of gloves. That's just blatant scam rip-off. Righto, here's my resin, which I got mixed up already. Bit of hardener. Stirring, stirring, stirring. Sorry, I didn't see if anyone was... Hey, he's going. Right, let's get this done. Righto, pour your resin on. I watched the video the other day and a guy was glassing and he was fighting the board. He was just, hey, all I'm doing is spreading it out to where it's not on it. Right, see that? Now, there we go. I'm not even putting any pressure on. This is just no pressure. Just spreading a bit of resin on there. There we go. Now I'll let the resin do the work. I'll let the resin wet that board out. Okay? I'll get paid for it, but the resin can do all the hard work. What's that? Right, so see, I'm just letting the resin soak into it. It'll wet out on its own. Righto, now see how I just wet that out? Now come back to around here, see how that lap's perfectly wet out and I haven't wasted multitudes of resin. I just spread this out a bit here. Up here. Spread that out a bit. There we go. Right, now, just let me get my roller. Righto. Now that resin did all that work for me. Now, I pull the resin out. See? One more over here, just to make sure it's all right. Tuck it under. I go this way first. Change it up. Then this way. Righto. Now this side. Tuck that under. Now if I was going to copy a technique, I would copy my technique. It is so easy. I'll go against anyone's glass and technique and I'll be compared gladly. But this is an easy one. I'm doing minimal amount of work for the maximum effort. And as you can see, I never worked the resin into that once. It did the work for me. One of the guys, Dale's got it written on his shape and bay wall or glass and bay wall. Let the resin do the work. I cracked up when I seen it, that was funny. But I do say it a lot. Okay? Don't get caught up in this thing about just because your arm's moving, you're being efficient. Think about surfing. Tom Curran. Remember in the 80s you had all the wrigglers? And then Curran came along. Super efficient, no wriggling, and he fucking blew them all away. You don't need to be moving all the time. And then Occy came along and he was the king of no movement. He just kept it real simple, didn't he? And just blew everyone away. Sorry, I just dripped on my sock. Gonna have to clean that when I'm finished. Just go over this. Make sure there's no air. Beautiful. Do the other side. Yeah, see the big drip I got on my sock? That's alright, I'll put acetone on it, it'll clean it up. I've got a few minutes before I have to do that, before it starts burning. Righto. So that's done. Now, I'll do the second last one around from the apex, all the way around, getting rid of any extra resin. Hasn't gelled yet. It's still a little way from gelling, but I wanted a bit more time on this one. Didn't want to push myself too much. Get this lap down, then I'll clean my sock, and then I'll come back to cleaning it up, making sure there's no excess resin in this rail. It's a beautiful yellow. It's almost a goldy yellow. Not gelled yet. Getting there. Righto, so this is all down and done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean my sock where I've dripped a big blob of resin on it, and my hands and stuff, and then I'll come back to this. I'll have plenty of time. Okay, so I gave myself a bit of time. Hey Casey! Yeah, I got a big drip of resin on my sock. Casey's watching from the Instagram camera. Yeah, I got a big drip of resin. Let me get that off. Sorry, I'll just turn that camera around a bit. There we go. Hey matey! Sorry, I gotta clean my sock. Bear with me. Big drip right here. Gross. Nothing on that one. Sorry, I just got to check this now. These are therapeutic socks. They give you a your blood flow to your legs really good. If you're on your feet all day, I have a few people say, "What are they for?" And I said, have a look at any athlete worth. Yeah, you have a look at any athlete worth $30 million, and have a look at what they wear on their legs, and they wear that for a reason. Of course, we're all not worth 30 million, but there's no reason why you can't treat yourself like you're worth 30 million. That's better. Now, I'll just clean my equipment. Yeah, so it's mainly, you don't end up with sore legs of a night time. Set me brush. Right. Now I'm just going to check this one more time. Getting off any excess resin. There we go. It's gelling now. I'm just making sure I'm getting off all these bits. It looks good. Now just do one final clean up just to make sure this lap has no lumps. It looks perfect. Couple of little drops here and there, not much. Beautiful. Last bit here. Bear with me. Here we go. Finishing up here. There we go. That'll do. That's gelled. So it's hard. Ha 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 ha. Well, you got to let me know down the track, Casey, if you want to. Sorry, I'll just take my gloves off. Yeah, you have to let me know if you're going to want to go ahead with a board too. I understand the freight's a shit thing, but the freight ain't changing for a long time, unfortunately. That's going to be like that for a long time yet. I don't think they'll ever get back to pre-COVID prices myself. Yeah. I don't think it's ever going to get back to pre-COVID. Not now. Righto. Righto. Hang on one sec, I've just got to turn this camera off. One sec.